What's going on, guys? It's Cookie Croc here, and this is week 3 of the I.L.L. against Ty and his Virginian Volcaronas. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with this battle. So I lead off with my Gliscor, and he leads off with his Garchomp, as to be expected. I knew he was going to get free rocks off. There was no doubting that. I figured he was a physical Garchomp again, and so I went ahead and went for the Toxic, trying not to take any unnecessary damage from Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin and all that jazz. So, I feel like the Toxic is going to do some good damage here near the end of the battle as well. So he withdraws Garchomp on this next turn and comes on out with the Pidgeot, which I actually went for the knockoff on this turn to try to knock off the Rocky Helmet, but of course he predicts that and comes out with the Pidgeot. So to scout out what he's going to do, I'll go ahead and so I use Protect, and he goes for Hidden Power, which I can easily assume that the Hidden Power Ice, otherwise I probably wouldn't have used it. So I go ahead and switch out into my Jellicent, because I can easily eat up an Ice type move, but he goes for the Roost to get back that knockoff damage that I gave to him, which was not that much. I'm of course running leftovers and all that. So I was stuck between running Blizzard here and Scald. Either way, it really wouldn't have mattered because the Tentacle does come out and it would have eaten up anything. A Burn would have been nice here, but it wouldn't have been, super necessary. I did know that he was going to go ahead and get free Toxic Spikes up on this turn, so I was just making a decision who I wanted to bring in on this next turn. So I do go ahead and withdraw my Jellicent, and next I'm going to bring out the Staraptor, because I do know that my Staraptor can one-shot this thing, and I don't think that he knows that I can one-shot it. So he goes with the Toxic Spikes, of course. Free Toxic Spikes, why not? And I go with, he gets the Black Sludge, Heal, and on this next turn I go for the Double Edge with, Reckless. That thing easily one-shots that Tentacle. The crit did not matter. Both of us ran calcs after that, and we both know that did not matter. So he sends out the Chinchino. I'm thinking, what are the odds that he's running Scarf Chinchino? And he actually is. So I misplayed on that and let him knock me off and kill me. There were actually quite a bit of misplays on my end of this battle. That could have easily kept from happening, but next he goes for the knockoff on my Firefly. No big deal there, but I miss a Toxic. I don't know why I didn't just go for the knockoff myself, because that Choice Scarf is a big deal for me. It's actually going to come and bite me in the butt here in a little while. So because he sends out the Pidgeot with the No Guard, I easily, hit the Toxic on that. So that was no big thing. But I still don't know why I went for a second Toxic. Although the second Toxic worked out because the knockoff wouldn't have done anything, as we saw before. So I protected for 2 reasons. 1, to scout if he was going to use HP Ice again, and 2, to get some Toxic damage off. For some reason I went out into Umbreon on this next turn instead of going ahead and sending out Jellicent, and that also will come to bite me in the butt. Because Umbreon does not take this Hurricane near as well. Well, of course I get poisoned, but the Umbreon does not take this Hurricane near as well as I was hoping it would, and he gets the Confusion. So I am not only poisoned, but I am also confused. And so he, of course, I can take one more Hurricane for sure, and I decided I wanted to go for Wish. Which sadly, when he goes for Hurricane, brings me down to pretty low health, and I hit myself with Confusion. Okay. Well, the only thing I can do at this point is Wish. He's going to keep taking toxic damage. The next amount of toxic damage won't kill him, but it'll come very close. So he goes ahead and Roosts to get all that health back that he's been losing to toxic damage. And I am going to knock the wish off, and I'm going to hit myself in confusion again. It's just the game of Pokemon, that's how it goes, can't really complain. But it will cost me some mons here closer to the end as well. So next I send out Jafar. I really should have sent out Jellicent. I did not know what I was thinking in sending out Jafar, especially since I was not Modest Nature. Since I was not Timid Nature, I am Modest Nature. So he hits me with a Hurricane, which I obviously knew would not kill me, just because I do have some special defense with an Alakazam. But I go for the Focus Blast, kill him with that, and Alakazam basically becomes fodder at this point. It doesn't outspeed much, it especially does not outspeed the Chinchino with that Scarf. I knew he was going to go for the knockoff, or I thought he was going to go for the knockoff. And so I sent out my already knocked off Blitzcore, and he goes for Tail Slap and hits it. So I really should have done two things. I should have left Jafar in to get killed by the Tail Slap and sent in Jellicent to make him switch. Or, since I did switch, I should have gone for the knockoff. But for some reason, he continues to Tail Slap. Alright. So for some reason, I go for Toxic again. I hit it this time, but that Toxic is not going to do enough damage in the end of the game to make a difference. So I should have just gone for the knockoff to get rid of that Choice Scarf, and maybe I could have made up somewhere. All my Pokemon were too slow anyway, so it didn't really matter, but went ahead and protected to get some more health back and to also take some more health away from the Chinchino before switching out excuse me, before switching out into the Jellicent, because obviously he is stuck into it with Choice Scarf. So Tail Slap is of course not going to do anything to my Jellicent, but the Toxic Spikes are going to poison me, and that will make a difference in the battle as well. So obviously he has to switch here. Now my choice is, do I want to go for the Scald or do I want to go for the Blizzard? Well, the Tentacruel was gone, so I really should have made the good decision and gone for the Blizzard. But instead, well actually I take that back. That's in a later play. This Scald, I was really hoping for a burn here, and a burn would have could have possibly saved me the game. So I'm taking more toxic damage. This is the play. He Volt switches, and I really should have gone for Blizzard right here, because he makes the decision to Volt switch into his Garchomp, which a Blizzard would have one-shotted. But instead, I make the terrible decision to Scald, which obviously can't get a burn on a Garchomp that's already poisoned. Now, he told me afterwards that he forgot that Dragon Tail has a -6 priority, and so I was hoping he would go for Dragon Tail just so I could get Recover off, and he does in fact go for Dragon Tail, and I get the Recover off. So I get all that health back, but he takes it away again with the Dragon Tail. This Dragon Tail does a ton of damage. Well, not all of it, but it still does quite a bit of damage. Brings out Jafar, which is fodder. So Jafar goes down to the rocks that the Garchomp set up, and Garchomp continues to take toxic damage. So I send out Firefly because I know that Firefly can take anything that this Garchomp has to throw at me. I go ahead and well, no, he goes for the Rock Slide and gets the flinch. I think I was going for Earthquake that play. So he gets the flinch on the Rock Slide. How wonderful. I should have protected first turn. That probably would have been a better idea, but I do outspeed this next time because he goes for Dragon Tail. And brings me down to 30 HP. Bringing out Land Urchin. and this toxic damage is going to take him out to give Gliscor a kill. So that's a good thing. Then he sends out the Mawile, which I fully expected the Fire Fang, but at the same time I've expected to take this better than I did. He definitely had to have been choice banded for that to do as much damage as it did, because a regular Mawile really doesn't do that much damage, even with 4 times effective Fire Fang when I'm max defense, max HP. So I did get the leech seed off. I am going to protect again this turn, just to get a little more leech seed damage off before switching into something else. So it brings him down to below half, brings me to just under half as well, and I switch out into Jellicent, or Arrogance the Jellicent. I don't have much choice other than Jellicent, and he gets the Fire Fang off. I could have actually recovered here, which probably would have been a better idea than going straight for the Scald, because leftover that Fire Fang did nothing, and the leftovers would have kept, or the leftovers and the Leech Seed would have kept me afloat over the poison damage that I was taking constantly. So instead of Scalding, I really should have gone for I really should have gone for the Recover. But I was kind of afraid of a knockoff or something of the sort. I think maybe I just didn't think that he was choice banded, but I'm not quite sure what I was thinking at this point. So he does bring in the Cinccino. I knew something was coming, and he uses Bullet Seed. Well, that takes me out, obviously. So then I bring in the obvious Ferrothorn. Because Ferrothorn can eat up Bullet Seed for days. I didn't really have much to do. The only thing I could do with this was Iron Head, because I knew he was probably more than likely Sap Sipper. So the Iron Head does quite a bit of damage, but not near enough damage. I protect just to, I guess, scout. I knew he was going to overheat. I knew it was coming from the very beginning, so he hits the overheat and takes out my Land Urchin. The Life Orb damage is going to take him down a bit, but the -2 doesn't really matter, especially since he does have the Hidden Power Ice on his Abstracto. So instead of protecting here, I just go for the knockoff, hoping with all my being that he switches out into Cinccino. Maybe I could get a 1-0 loss instead of a 2-0 loss. And I go down to a Hidden Power Ice, and he does not go down to Life Orb, so it is a 2-0 victory for Ty. That was a good battle, all in all. I made a lot of mistakes that I really probably should not have made, and he made a lot of good plays as well. So good battle to you, Ty, and good luck in the future. And next week we have the one and only Kellie, who is 0-3, I believe, right now. So thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.